Hey guys, BJ Dollar here, and this video is in response to Tanajae, my dog Bayshawn, and my buddy Eric Green, who have all actually posted the same challenge. And Tanajae actually went ahead and made a video about it herself earlier, so this is my video response to her video plus the challenge made by all three of them, which is this. All of you Top Gun big name marketers out there, if you had to start over from scratch today, no list, no big marketing budget, just the knowledge you've gotten over the years and no relationships, could you start over from scratch? And if you could, how would you go about doing it? And would you be as successful, more successful, or least successful today? And why? And actually, I'm going to handle all of those questions and I'm going to answer every single one of them. And truthfully, guys, this may be like a 7-minute long plus video. I want you guys to stick with me. I'm going to turn it into a series as requested from my buddy Bayshawn, and I'm also doing my daily series of videos anyway, so this will be a fun topic for us. But I want you to watch this, and I want you to think about this, and I want you to listen to me, because literally some of you might be starting right now. Some of you may have started a long time ago, but you never really got anywhere right now. Some of you may feel like you've been in here forever, but you're really still at the starting gate in your own mind. And if you're there, walk with me through what I'm about to teach you, because literally, guys, I took their challenge to a whole nother level. When they said you have no big advertising budget, I'm gonna start with $0, and I will not be able to, in this example, use a credit card. I will not be able to, in this example, use a bank account. We're gonna say $0 altogether, and I'm not, from this example, going to be able to buy into anything until I make money first online. So here's exactly how I would do that, okay? Put 90 days on the clock, okay? Because that's how long I feel like it'll take to really be back to where most of you want to be right now, and where some of the big name marketers are exactly right now. And here's the step-by-step blueprint, guys. Are you ready? I would start by cutting videos like this. Either doing inspirational videos, doing testimonial videos, doing videos that are talking about my lifestyle, talking about my visions, my goals, putting goals into the universe that I'm going to accomplish in my life. And then I would go into Facebook. I would go and share my post in Facebook groups that are targeted towards the type of videos that I'm cutting. I would go share posts with friends that I started collecting on Facebook. I would share posts on Twitter using my tweet driver method. If you guys don't know about that, you should connect with me. I could teach you lots of things about Twitter that would blow your mind. But literally, guys, I would take my knowledge and I would go share using free marketing strategies to get results. Now notice I didn't say dollars, didn't say to make sales. In fact, most of the videos that I would be cutting would have nothing to do with sales presentations, okay? In fact, the very first actual thing that I would sell would probably be a CPA offer. But in the meantime, because if you do know about CPA offers, you know why I didn't start there. If you don't know about CPA offers, here's why. Because minimum, it takes 72 hours to a week to get approved to a CPA network, if you get approved at all. And honestly, guys, it may take 3 or 4 tries for you to get approved to a CPA network before you could ever get involved in it. Now, why would I go ahead and pick a CPA network versus just going to ClickBank or just picking an affiliate product and starting to promote it? I know I'm losing some of you guys. I know some of this is blowing your mind, because some of you guys believe you have to buy into a business opportunity before you could sell something online and make money. But guys, if you went to ClickBank, if you went to JVZoo, if you went to a lot of these other affiliate places, you could actually find affiliate products that you didn't have to buy first and that you could turn around and sell. But I won't even go that route, and here's why. Because if you get approved to a CPA network, you actually can get paid for generating leads. Now, guys, don't expect to get rich right off the bat, because some CPA networks, cost per lead kind of stuff, would only pay you a penny 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents for a lead. But I would keep digging and I would keep adding value and I would keep building my warm market and I would keep getting results for 2 reasons while I'm getting into different CPA networks. The number 1 reason is because once I got into the right one that gave me one of those offers that's either $1 to $3 per lead, and then still on the back end, if I make a sale for them, they also pay me for the sale. That's where I blow up. That's where I take over, and that's where the game changes. But in the meantime, I also have a plan B. While that's happening, I've been sharing my videos. I've been getting hundreds, if not thousands of views on my videos because I personally know how to create the right video and go target the right Facebook group to get the right audience to look at the video. So what ends up happening is, let's say I do that for 30 days. Okay, I put 30 days on the clock. I've built a story. I've gotten into some CPA networks now, and I'm ready to really make a big move. Okay, here's what happens, guys. I would pick a CPA offer that's a cost per lead offer that I would do a double opt-in with. Now, what does a double opt-in mean? That means when they put their name and email address into the box, you get that lead and the CPA network gets that lead. So you get paid and you get to build that list. And here's what would happen. I would match it up to what I'm about to sell, which is how to sell targeted traffic, guys. Because if you know anything about me, what I've actually specialized in is not being a traffic guy, it's about being a targeted traffic guy. Because most of you on the internet right now know how to go out and generate 30, 50, 100, even 1,000 clicks in a day. Go out and generate 5, 10, even 50 leads in a day. However, those leads are not targeted leads. If you are I don't know, let's say you sell toilet paper. If you're a toilet paper rep and you go into your toilet paper group and you're like, hey guys, opt into my opt-in form, no one's gonna buy your toilet paper because they're all toilet paper reps. That's called generating leads. You're gonna get some opt-ins. You're gonna get guys like me who wanna go through your funnel and see what it looks like, but you're not gonna get targeted traffic. Okay, so that's just to use an example without using a real business opportunity. And it's a funny story because one of my latest ladies that I'm helping right now, I actually started taking her on as a student because we were talking about toilet paper. So I figured I'd throw that out there. But literally, guys, this is how it would go from here, okay? I would take a CPA offer and I would take on the back end, because I'm brand new, have no story, I am BJ Dollar, I'm just new, I would sell my targeted traffic course, and I would call it something cool, probably like targeted traffic training, so I'd have the triple T. I would sell that for $19.97. Okay, why? Because that's basically $20 per sale, plus I'm making at least 3 cents per opt-in. I'm hopefully making $1 to $3 per opt-in for that offer. And here's what would happen, guys. I would spend the next 35 days target marketing my Facebook groups, target marketing my Twitter keywords, target marketing my YouTube videos, and target marketing my Facebook friends to not only opt into that forum, but if I've given them value over the last month of me giving trainings after trainings, building rapport after building rapport, to have them turn around and buy that $20 product, that $19.97 product. And here's what would happen, okay? In 35 days, honestly, I would probably make more sales than this because I would be a go-getter, but just about anyone who's using this formula would generate anywhere from a sale a day to 42 sales in 35 days. So let's go with the 42 sale number because that is $840, okay? Now, why is that important? Why is that powerful? Well, here's why that's important. Here's why that's powerful, because it's 1 month. Okay, and bear with me, because if you know me, you know that I'm a storyteller, so you know that I like to take a story, expand it as quickly as possible, because that makes me more money. So I'm going to tell the same story twice back to back, but I'm going to change the results as they go along, okay? So I've now taken my results and I've said, hey guys, check out everything that I've made through my CPA offers over the last 30 days. Here's how I would make the sales, guys. I'm literally breaking it down point by point for you. So take some notes, pay attention. When I go to sell my $20 course, here's exactly how I would do it. Teach them the difference between traffic and targeted traffic. Show them the results, which will be small. You know, I might have made by then $50 to $100 maybe, selling CPA, you know, pushing CPA leads and maybe making a few CPA sales. But I would bring them out to a webinar where I would host and I would teach them how to generate targeted traffic, and then that would be a sales presentation for my $19.97 course. So I would spend the next 35 days promoting that webinar, and I would make $840 to $860 roughly, okay? Immediately, I would turn around immediately and tell that same story, but give them a 72-hour window where I'm going to teach them something crazy, where I'm going to teach them something awesome, okay? And literally, here's what would happen. I would take that $87. I would turn around and I would spend it on marketing, okay? $820. I would spend that $820 on marketing, and here's what would happen. Okay, I would generate, or I would make it my goal to get at least 1,000 people on my list and 1,000 people to come out and watch that webinar. Well, why is that? Why is that? Because I would way over deliver and I would way make more money than what my goal is. But here's what I would do. I would from that point sell a $200 product, and I would sell 10 slots of it with a unbelievable bonus. Okay, so let's say it's my how to make money from scratch, or I would call it probably my iProfits formula, because everything that I do in marketing nowadays is done right here from the smartphone. In fact, the only reason this video isn't being done right now from the smartphone is so I can hold it in my hand and I can use it for this very example. But literally, guys, I would probably release an iProfits formula teaching how I made $860 from scratch my opening month in the industry, and without any paid advertising at all. Okay, without any marketing budget at all, completely free. And for the first 10 people who bought, on top of getting the course, like everybody who buys, they would get a one-on-one sit-down training with me on a webinar where I would walk them through whatever their target niche is, whatever their target market is, whatever product they're selling, how to generate targeted traffic, and then how to minimize their workload to where they can do it all from their smartphone. And here's what would happen. In a single night, I would make 10 sales up front. I would probably, myself personally, would probably honestly make 15 to 20 sales, which I would tell all 15 to 20 of them they were one of the first 10, because I like to over deliver. I like to help out those people. And ultimately, I'd probably make like 30 to 50 sales, especially if there was 1,000 people who watched that webinar, okay? The average person, though, is going to make 7 to 10 sales almost guaranteed, guys. So you can do this exact formula as well. My results may be a little bit bigger on the spectrum just because I know what I'm doing, but an average rookie can take this exact formula and almost duplicate to the letter what I'm telling you on this, okay? So what would happen is, let's say you fill all 10 of those spots. You have now made $2,000 in upfront income. Let's say, honestly, though, you filled 5 more after that, like I said I would. You've now gotten it up to $3,000, okay? Here's what's powerful about that. That gives me 2 routes to take from here, okay? And this is where, honestly, guys, I got to be true to myself, and I got to be true to all of you in the industry, and I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not going to say anything negative about either path, but I'm going to let you figure out the truth about the path. At that point, I now have enough money to not only go, let's say I did 15 sales, because I believe I could do 15 sales. I have enough money to go all in Empower Network, or buy any other top tier level business opportunity, because that's pretty much where the cap at most places is like the 1,500 to 2,000 range to get into it and make some serious cash. And I now have a paid advertising budget on top of having a free lead generation skill that I've been building and building and building. The coolest thing is as well, I have 40 plus customers in a $20 product, and I have 15 customers in a $200 product. So here's what happens here, guys. I create the marketing funnel. At that point, this is still path number one. I'll tell you path number two when I'm done completely with path number one. Okay. I create the marketing funnel. The front end product being my $1997 course to getting them how to get targeted traffic. Okay, versus just regular traffic. I take that same iProfits blueprint that I told you about that I was going to sell for $200 and I skim it. So I take some of the training off of it. I turn around and make it a free giveaway offer. And here's how I capture a whole bunch of people's attention. I host another webinar. Okay, I host another webinar and I turn around and I say, look here, guys, here's what's going on. Over the last 35 days, 36 days, actually, it took me 35 days to make 860. I turned around in 3 days. So in the last 38 days, I've made $3,860 in my opening month on the internet. If you want to learn my exact formula on how I did that from scratch and how you could do it as well and get to work with me personally, here's how this is going to work, guys. And I would turn around and I would sell them the $125 level on Empower Network. Here's the coolest part. I would open up 20 spots on that webinar live. Keeping in mind, I have a list of 1,000 people who have watched my first webinar that I used my $860 in paid advertising to acquire. I have 40 plus customers of my $20 product that are all checking this out. I have the 15 very loyal customers of my $200 product that are checking this out. And here's what happens. I offer all of them this opportunity, okay? You get to be, if you're one of these 20 spots that buy in at least the $125 level, I will let you into Dada's secret inner circle, where I would create a Facebook group. I would create maybe even go as far as a team training site where they have some access to me. They can work with me personally. I would put a blueprint for them to follow within the Facebook group. And then here's the blowaway giveaway bonus that just blows people's mind. Ready? On top of getting to work with me personally and going through that part of the training, I would turn around and I would create a marketing funnel that every single one of my team members gets to use with my $20 how to get targeted traffic training as a back end to my free giveaway, which is my iProfits training, teaching them how to become free of their computer, free of working from home, and being able to work anywhere that they can find Wi-Fi or they can have signal. Okay, I would make that the front end free giveaway that would start piling in leads like crazy. I would teach them how to go out and give that training away in exchange for a name and email address, and then I would let my funnel do the rest, to where literally right after that, boom, they buy the total traffic trade or the targeted traffic trading, and they would turn around and then be funneled into Empower Network just like that. The coolest thing is that's not where it stops. Okay, so let me tell all of you Empower Network people right now, and I'll be honest, guys, between Baishan, Tanajay, and Chad, and even Eric, who's promoting Empower Network slightly because of Darren, I chose Empower Network for this example for path number one. Okay, just because y'all are my friends, shout outs to y'all, and I hope you guys take what I'm teaching right now and explode your businesses with it, because just like you said yesterday, Tanajay, I believe as well that you're a 30K per month earner, and I'm waiting to see that change in you. But literally, guys, this is how simple the blueprint is. If you know anything about Empower Network, you know they have that 2-week window to get all in for 2K versus 5,200 and something ridiculous dollars for the same amount of content. Here's what would happen, okay? I would retell my story in 4 days. Now, why would I pick 4 days? Here's why I would pick 4 days. Because in 4 days, they have 10 days left on the clock. And it gives me opportunity to do one more webinar. I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me just explain what I mean by that. In 4 days, they will be 3 days away from being 1 week in, which means 1 week of their 2-week bonus is off the clock. Here's the coolest thing, and here's the really big blow-away bonus is, when they're one of those 20 people that join my Empower Network team, the funnel also automatically has a webinar on it, the one that I'm doing in 4 days, that tells my results and introduces the $125 level in Empower Network for them. So when I do the selling and telling, like I'm doing on this video, even though I'm not selling anything, when they click the buy button below, there's not a buy button below this video, they would buy through you, whoever used the marketing system to send them there. And at the same time, if they're one of those 20 people in my Dollars Inner Circle, you see, I'm not stupid. Anybody who joins, no matter how many of them join at the $125 level, will get the marketing system. But if they're in Dollars Secret Inner Circle, I'll tell them that up front, and I'll give them a blueprint to gathering their warm market, getting them excited about what's coming, what their mentor is about to share with all of them for free, which is my webinar. And then I would get them all out. And here's my metrics, guys. Here's my numbers, bar none. And Eric's done a lot of business with me, so you can ask Eric if these are our numbers when I do a webinar with him. When you put 10 people in front of me on a webinar of your warm market, 2 of them buy, period. Up to 8 of them buy, period. No excuses, no differences. When I'm on a webinar and I'm selling something and you bring me your warm market and you've edified me the way I teach you how to edify me, I will sell at least 2 out of 10, if not 8 out of 10 every single time. So what will happen then is I will turn around and my team of 20, which will probably be like 25, 30, most people will have gotten like 15 to 17. So don't feel bad. That's awesome numbers, guys. My team will turn around and they will bring their 10 warm market out. Okay, let's say just those 20 people did it. Just Dollars Inner Circle really took effort and took what I said, and they brought 10 warm market visitors out to our webinar. Guys, right then and there, I sell the $125 level one more time. And you want to know why? Because boom, they all create 2 sales. One sale, obviously, as we know, gets passed up to me. So now my team of 20 is actually a team of 40, and that $1,750 that I was making a month is $3,500 a month in residual monthly income, and we're not even at 50 days yet. We're at day 43, I believe. Don't quote me on all of the numbers. We're 42 through 45, somewhere in there. Literally, but here's what happens next, guys. All of those people also make at least 1 sale, which old school Empower Network days would have made them their money back. Nowadays, it's 70% commission, so they're still making a decent amount, and they know that if they turned around and made a couple of more sales from my webinar, which is going to happen every single week for them and my team, that they're not only eventually going to break even, but they're going to start seeing real money coming in and real residuals being built. Here's the craziest part, guys, is I give 2 webinars the next week. I give a Inner Circle webinar for my Inner Circle members, and then I give a non-Inner Circle webinar that they want to promote. And here's why I do that. Because now I've shown them the blueprint works. I've shown them the formula. I've given them a taste of excitement and a taste of results. But I also am leading by example. So now when I host this webinar, when I host this training for my Inner Circle, here's what I do. I tell them, look, guys, you had 2 weeks to go all in an Empower Network. That ends in 72 hours. You do not get the $2,000 price point anymore. In 72 hours, you get a $5,000 price point. Okay? And here's the sickest, craziest part is, I opened this Inner Circle webinar. I'm just going to give you 100% transparency, because this is exactly what I did 2.5 years ago, and this is exactly what I did also in Explosial, and this is exactly what I would do if I decided to come back to Empower Network and promote it again. But you're going to see when I take Path 2 why that'll never happen. Even though I love Dave, I love Empower Network, and I love the vision that they have. Okay, but listen, guys, I would say my webinar is just for my Inner Circle, and then somehow I would leak it to my list. I would leak it to Facebook, and I would leak paid advertising using my whole entire rest of my traffic budget, or most of it. You know, I made I made $3,800. I already spent $800 of it. I made another $3,700. So I would spend probably about $3,000 on paid advertising. And it would generate me tons and tons and tons of leads. I'm telling you, there would probably be 5,000 or more people who saw this webinar, because I would use, obviously, free marketing. But on top of that, I would use the paid advertising in a Facebook PPC campaign that I had been tweaking for this funnel exactly. And here's what would happen. I would tell the story, and then I would turn around and I would tell them, look, I went all in. I have the potential to make $2,000 in a sale. I have potential to make a $87.50 sale residually monthly from the $125 sale earning. And I'm at the position to not only have all of the knowledge of Empower Network, but when I run traffic and when a customer comes through my funnel, I'm in a position to make the most money possible. And guys, I've already made $3,750 plus $3,800. That's $7,237. So I'm almost at that 10K range that I told you that I would hit in 90 days on day 50, not day 90. I'm going to show you how it becomes residual by day 90. Okay, so literally that would be my blueprint right there in front of them. Is I'm going to take you in 90 days to a $10,000 per month residual monthly income if you go all in with me right now. And here's my, once again, blow-away bonus, guys. Okay, obviously there are two levels to this blow-away bonus, and I want you guys to pay attention right now. If you had to write a star around anything that I'm saying, hopefully you did it around all of it, but this would be it, because this is where you could potentially make 6 figures right up front. And here's how it works. $2,000 package. If you go all in, I don't know what 70% of that is. I actually, in my mind, thought we kept $2,000 of it. So 70% of $2,000 is $1,400. Okay, $1,400 per sale is made. Okay, for the first 20 people who go all in, keeping in mind like 5,000 are going to watch this, so it's okay to say 20 people, and you can even let them know, hey guys, this apparently got leaked. Everybody is watching this, and actually we have a few thousand people watching this, so this is gonna go crazy. This is why I opened a second bonus. Do you see what I'm doing? Subconsciously, I'm telling them, look, there was a mistake, so I'm gonna over deliver so that you can still get the bonus that's right for you. But really, I knew it all along, and this is how you make more sales, and this is how you make more money. So stop and listen, okay? Literally, guys, I would tell them the first 20 people to go all in are going to have a custom Facebook PPC campaign created by me for their funnel, and I'm going to use 500 of their $1,400 advertising budget on paid advertising for them for their funnel leading up to the next webinar that I host that's selling the all-in package. Also, anyone who joins right now at least the $497 level. Now, why would I pick that? Because I already have over 25 people who are at the $125 level, so I want all of them to upgrade. Anyone who joins in at least the $497 level, on top of getting a chance to earn, or $625 level, excuse me, anyone who on top of that gets a chance to earn, 70% of $625, they also get a customized Facebook PPC campaign that's created for them that they can turn around and use to generate clicks for 10 to 20 cents per click. And they're going to get to promote that same all-in webinar for when I do the selling and telling for them. And here's what's going to happen, guys. Right there live on that webinar, I'm going to close 20 sales. So I'm going to make $20,000 profit because I guaranteed to give away 500 of each of the $2,000 package that I sell. And then on top of that, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I sold, and here's the loophole I would actually do as I thought about it. I would say anybody who joins in at the $125 level would get that Facebook PPC bonus, but anyone who's already at the $125 level that joins to $497 level, I would create their Facebook PPC campaign for them and then do maybe $100 in advertising budget for them so that they knew that they're important to me and so that I get those upgrades, guys. And here's what would happen. I would probably honestly pull 10 to 20 sales of the $497 level. I would probably honestly pull about 100 sales of the $125 level because 5,000 people watched this webinar. And I would pull at least those 20 people in the Empower Network all-in profits category. So I'd make 10 grand profit from that. From the 497, if I pulled in, let's just say 10 of those guys, I make about 300 because I'm giving up or 625. I don't know why I keep saying 425. 625 level, I give up 100 of that for their budget, so I make about 450 per each one of those. So if I sold 20 of them, I would make an additional $9,000. So now we're at $19,000. And if I sold 100 of the $125 level, that would give me an $8,750 residual monthly income, which means I would have made $27,550 that day, and my residual monthly income would be up to $11,000 in residual monthly income, guys. And that's literally how you could build a 10K per month formula. And that's leaving alone all of the people who promoted that webinar and turned around and made those sales that day. But here's the craziest part is there's still one more webinar, the one that I promised all of them, the one that for all of those all-in people, they're gonna have about 250 to 500 visitors each to that webinar. For all of those $625 level people, they're going to have about 25 to 50 visitors to that webinar. And for all of those $125 level people, I encourage them to use the Facebook PPC campaign that I created for them, and they could probably pull out about 20 to 30 people to that webinar. So honestly, guys, that could be a 6-figure day. I'm not going to go into all of those numbers because that's more about chalkboard cash, which is what some of the big name gurus would tell you about to get you enticed, because it's easy to predict my numbers. It's easy to predict what I do, but it's hard to predict the variable of a team that size. So here's what I'll call it. Eric Green, Matthew Aaron, and myself built a team in a previous business opportunity. The three of us built a team to 1,100 people in just over 30 days, took that team to 3,700 people to 90 days from there, using this exact formula, guys. So if you don't believe that I've done this before, and if you do believe I've done this before and wanted to know how it works, that's how it works. So I'm not going to tell you the chalkboard cash numbers, but I'm going to tell you that it's the ability to double your team size every time you step onto a webinar. So no matter what size your team is today, double it every time you do a webinar if you teach this process and you do this process the right way. Now, as insane as that sounds, here's why I still would not take path number one. Are you ready? Let's back all the way back up to where the fork in the road was. The fork in the road happens at the spending the $800, getting these people, and now you've made $2,800. I made $3,000, just over $3,000 at this point, okay? I don't spend a dime to get into Empower Network. So I now have a $3,000 Facebook ad campaign budget, and I create my own $497 to $997 product. And on the back end of it, I also sell personal coaching, guys. And here's what ends up happening, okay? I create just like I do the same exact formula. I move my $200 product to the front end, and I make it completely free. I then in place put a $497 or a $997 product, and I probably would put one more product just barely in there, or I would take the very first module of my iProfits product that was $200, and I would make that the free giveaway, and then I would keep the iProfits right there at $297 or at $200. I like that, okay? So here's what happens. I would then give my people a funnel that lets them have a free offer, a $20 offer, a $200 offer. Let's go with the $997 offer, or no, let's go with the $497 offer because I like that price point. And then I would have coaching on the back end. And here's what would happen, okay? They would turn around and I would make the same unbelievable bonus, for the webinar selling my $497 product. Anyone who bought it, I would use 50% of your commission on creating a Facebook PPC campaign for you, and I would run that much traffic for you for our next webinar. If you bought the $200 product at that time, I would create you a Facebook PPC campaign, and I would give you the marketing funnel for the next webinar. Okay, so here's what ends up happening. We already had those 25 sales at the 200. We already had the 43 sales at the $20 level. Those 43 become the $200. All of those 20 people become the $497, and then if they bought the $497 level, I upsell them my personal coaching. Now, honestly, even with my conversion rates, right after a $497 product, if there's only 20 of them, I probably will not get 12 of them to buy the $1,000 per month coaching. And why would I want 12 of them? Well, because one of my mentors and a great buddy of mine, Simon Stepsis, one of the most successful internet marketers in our industry today, taught me one very simple lesson. And he said, and this is so gangster, because we were sitting at the very first Empower Network event, and this whole entire flood of people surrounded us because we were having a conversation, and they knew who the two of us were as big name marketers at the time. And they asked us, this exact question. They said, how would you go about making your dream style of income if you had to start all the way over again? And Simon asked, before he even answered the question, he asked, well, how much would you like to make a month? And the guy said, I would like to make 10 grand a month. Simon said, I would find 12 people to pay me $1,000 a month per coaching, and here's why. Not only because I like to make more than my dream income, but because if you're already starting residually ahead of what you need to make every single month, you have an opportunity for 2 of your clients to fall off, and you still keep your residual monthly income goal or your income goal, and it's a lot easier to find 2 people to replace the excess amount of money that was coming in than it is to find 2 people to get you back up to the income goal that would pay all of your bills. The whole entire crowd was like blown away, and we were about to keep teaching when one of them piped up and was like, hey, aren't you 2 in the leadership group? They're all piling into the limos and they're about to leave you. So Simon and I went running across the Omni Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia to make it just barely, but that's neither here nor there. So what ended up happening is I would spend the rest of that money on the advertising budget. Okay, so I would spend maybe, like, if I have right now $3,000 in my advertising budget, I would spend probably $2,000 of it on an advertising budget. And here's what would happen is I would generate even more sales of the $20, of the $200, of the $497. And remember, I'm still capping it off to just 20 people at that $497 range. Now, why would I do that? Well, because that's 10 grand right there generated. Now it's not kept because, as I just told you, I'm paying out about 5 of it for my frontline affiliates to turn around and have a PPC campaign, which comes back to me in the end, but it also doesn't take away from my story, because the fact that I pulled in 10 grand originally, I get to leverage that result. And if you haven't figured this out from like the 40-minute training that I've done so far, leveraging the results is what gets your results to build. It's like kind of doing a workout. You know, you're not going to be able to walk into the gym and curl 100 pounds unless previously you've walked into that gym and curled 90 and 80 and 70 and 50 and 30 and 20 and 10. Okay? So literally, I would leverage the results to get more results, and I would host a webinar, and they would all know that. Any person who's bought any of my products gets access to that webinar where they get to sell the product, and whatever product level that they're in at, they get the 50% commission on that product level, which honestly, right before that webinar would drive a lot of people so insanely crazy that on that webinar they would buy the product themselves so that they could earn the bigger ticket commissions. It's crazy how that works. But anyway, this is what would happen is between that webinar that I just launched and the very next webinar, I would find all 12 of those people that I was looking for. So now I have a $12,000 per month residual monthly income. I've pocketed $5,000 from my $497 course. I sold 40 $200 courses, which means I made another $8,000, which put me up to $13,000 that I profited from, and $25,000 total, because I also made $12,000 residually every single month. And who knows how many of the little $20 products that I sold. So here's what I would ultimately do, guys, and this is crazy. Ready for this? I would turn around and I would tell people, after this webinar, if you get in before, let's say today was the 13th. If you got in before the 17th, so I would give them 3 days on the webinar that I'm hosting. If you get in before that, here's what I'm willing to do for you is I'm willing to give you the private label rights to my $20 targeted traffic training in exchange for this. When you make a targeted traffic training sale, it comes into me and I spend all 20 of those dollars on an advertising budget for you every single time re-promoting the funnel, so that you get constant traffic coming in, because you're not really going to miss little $20 commissions anyway, but it's going to generate, if you're doing a Facebook PPC campaign, let's say you're getting it for 20 cents per click, that means you're getting 100 clicks for $20. So you're getting 100 clicks every single time that you make that sale. You're turning around and you're generating constant sales that will go through the funnel and will get you more and more sales of the big ticket back ends, which will profit off of you. By the way, this concept is called funded proposal, something that my original mentor really mastered in this industry back almost 12 to 15 years ago, and made several marketing systems that were doing $1.8 million per month in income or more for them as a group and for their affiliates. Guys, it's crazy money when you talk about this kind of stuff. Literally, and from there, guys, I would start to do little things like help those people create their own products. I would honestly probably open up at that point something that I would call the JV Connect, where if you had an informational product that was helpful, or you had some sort of product that was very helpful that you could teach, or you had some sort of results that you were getting that you could teach the marketplace, then you could put your product there and I would push it if I liked it, and I would let other people who joined the JV Connect push it if they liked it, kind of like a ClickBank or a JV Zoo. However, using my webinar formula, where the only way you're allowed to promote that product is if you're willing to at least do a webinar by yourself promoting that product, and or get on a webinar with that person, and then they must also do a webinar with you promoting your product when you put your product on JV Connect. Guys, and what would end up happening is everyone who came through my formula would use my exact formula to the letter. They would all promote CPA offers. They would all do passive residual income streams as well, because I'm outside of this industry right now learning about some different markets that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but are pretty much passive income markets and are crazy money. And I would teach some of them that as they got more in depth and as they got more wet in the marketing game, if you will. And then all of a sudden, here's what would ultimately happen. My residual income would forever be $12,000 to $20,000 just residually. So if I was sipping tea on a beach somewhere, I would forever have all of those frontline affiliates promoting my funnel, and they would all make 50% commission, but I would also make 50% commission. I would be doing the selling and telling for them. They would be bringing out their warm market. I would be seeing days that were like $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a day just from using this formula, guys. This is what I've come back into the marketplace for. This is what I'm actually building right now from scratch, and that I'll eventually, come out with. But this is what anyone can do from scratch to create financial freedom, because the truth is, you don't need to buy into a business opportunity to make money online. The truth is, you don't need to find the right place, if you will, to make money online. The truth is, you can get people to follow you from teaching them how to generate one new lead a day without any quote unquote money promises attached to that. As in, your results could be, hey guys, I'm going to teach you how to generate more leads, and you don't even have to say that it's making you sales. Here's why. Because a marketer like me comes along and he goes, oh, he's doing that, and he's generating a lead a day from it, I could probably do that, tweak it a little bit, find out what he's doing wrong because he's a newbie, and generate 30 leads a day from it in the same amount of time that it takes him. And it only takes him about 15 minutes a day, so that could be worth my time to listen. That's why they would listen to you. So stop listening to the big name marketers who tell you you need to make $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month before you can start teaching other people, because I guarantee you there are tens of thousands of people right now that don't know how to generate one new lead online, and they would actually pay you for that information even if you didn't tell them that you made $10,000 this month. Even if honestly you didn't make $100 this month, you could turn around and sell them that information, because they're so lost about how to generate a lead that before they could even think about making money, they need to think about how to start getting people to talk to. So stop feeding into the BS. If you're one of the BS talkers, stop talking the BS and learn that you are financially free, or you're right on the cusp of it if you do the right thing in this industry, guys. I love you. I hope we all win. This is why I took the time to do this. Because honestly, I'm not selling anything on this. But this is about to wake up a whole generation of marketers. And I really hope it does. Because you all deserve the life of your dreams. And that's my goal for you. So that's what I would do. I'm going to do a video marketing series. And I'm going to be doing videos every single day like I used to. So if you grabbed any value from this, go ahead and give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and feel free to check out the rest of the videos that are coming through. I'll see you on the next video, and as always, I'll see you at the bank. Take care.